Welcome back to the State Farm Analyst Desk. It's changed in look. Unfortunately, Dash had to leave to attend to a personal matter, so it's going to be the three of us for most of the day. I think having some guests on. I think we have a good chance of Ablazeolive joining us after the Golden Guardians game, but this was a banger.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
This was something.
Because every single time we'd be building something. Okay, this dragon fight was influential.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to scrap that. Actually, this fight was influential.
Yep.
Wild to see.
Yeah. So we can go straight into the highlights and then keep talking because this was almost a prototypical 100 Thieves game until it wasn't. Dragon stacking. That's what we thought they were gonna do.
And we had like so many great cross-map plays from the early game that we actually ended up having to cut out. In favor of a lot of these Drake fights, but this is where like everything happened pretty much because of the way that 100 Thieves were able to set that up. And I know Jack has been harping on this for weeks.
7-0 with first dragon.
Undefeated.
Not even close to being 6-1. They had this game the whole time, but they actually are. Like, to me, it's because 100 Thieves has a big problem finding systemic ways to close out the game.
Yes.
So the system they use is dragon stack.
Yeah.
And through that conflict is where they generate their victories.
That is where I'm gonna harp on their side lane pressure and where I really want to give credit to Someday here, right? He himself has talked about this with 100 Thieves as to when he's going to be in side lane, when he's going to be joining up for these 5v5 fights that do always happen when they are able to get that Drake stacking in. And so I want to give him massive credit, and also the TF pick. I think it works well, automatically giving them side lane pressure through the way that champion plays.
Yeah, it felt like it was dictated by fights because sure, 100 Thieves got Cloud Soul, but it is Cloud Soul. It's not an influential one that decides team fights themselves. So then suddenly, Evil Genius's team fight comes online. Zeri starts just picking at people. And so there were just some influential steals. You were talking about Someday. Someday had
the most wild steal.
This one was also, it looked like an easy kill.
We thought this was int.
Yes.
But he, especially because he's against a Cloud Soul, so they're actually even faster chasing him. He buys this much time to make them start the Elder and then make 100 Thieves have a poor team fight engaged. Closure just kind of throws himself in there, and it almost turned the game around, just didn't.
Yeah, this was also where we were like, okay, you know, maybe EG have this. And when we've talked to players so many times about what happens in these moments, right? When like you have to see the rest of the map while a massive fight is going on around an objective, and I think we're gonna cut to
smite.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Boom.
The tweet from Abadaga at the same time, his reaction.
Thank you, producers, for that. I did not know that was coming.
So two big steals. The first steal from Someday when Closer was dead to nail Soul for his team, and then the Spellbook Smite while Zeri was trying to end the game, wasn't able to do that.
Yeah.
So many windows in which Evil Geniuses could have won this game that just through clutch moments, 100 Thieves was able to keep on.
I do think that this happens more than would be a coincidence.
Yeah.
At least when I think back to 100 Thieves last year, they played in a lot of close games, and they won the whole split. So, like, this game, we definitely look at it, and I'm not saying, like, this was the plan for them, but it was a slower game as well.
Yes.
So this is actually the kind of the conversation we were having during the game, because EG had a really slow game yesterday. We think it's probably a reaction from the coaching staff and the team trying to overcorrect and not take so many bad fights. But 100 Thieves is also, I think, reverting back to a slower, more dragon-centric game.
Yes.
Even after all the craziness, the combined kills per minute for this game was still low. So who does a slow game favor with these two teams?
I still think it's...
Yeah, go on.
Oh, no.
I see your face lighting up, so you go for it.
Go for it.
I still think it's 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
And I think it's because, again, when we look at the way this team has won, it has been just through, like, 5v5, like, smashing team fights.
Yep.
And I've been heavily critical of the fact that sometimes they just group mid, and sometimes they just force fights over Drake instead of leveraging side lane pressure, which I think they could do better. But when it comes down to 5v fights, this team knows what they want to do, especially if FBI is on a hyper carry like the Jinx.
Yeah, 100%. I think especially if you have Twisted Fate and the side lane advantage that Someday is giving you, then you should be able to win out in the long term, because you're putting Evil Geniuses in a ticking time bomb right there where they have to flip. They have to be the team that's putting Elder Drake in a smite steal point, because if they don't, then Someday is just going to win the game naturally. So I think it's really close, just because 100 Thieves did not want to fight into Zeri at all, and you could see it in the game-ending fight where there were just so many blinking red HP bars on 100 Thieves' side. And Zeri, if she played even a little bit, I mean, I swear Danny's going to go back into the VOD and see just what he could have done to edge this one closer to a win.
100%. They're going to watch through the team fights over and over again, and then maybe make some points about the overall game. With the end of this, EG goes to 7-8. 100 Thieves goes to 10-5. If you're wondering why I'm wearing a banana shirt, it's because Closer and I are twins.
Yes.
Enough said. Go find it on Twitter. And we're going to go to the next game. So yesterday, Golden Guardians did take home an all-important win, but they've been struggling. So the last few weeks have had some heartbreaking losses, and I thought the mic check from one of their losses was pretty illuminating, so take a look.
Okay, watch the Zonias, okay? I'm on Lee. I will told Jinx, I will told Jinx!
Jinx is low,
Lino kick. Kill Shy on here, I fear.
Look above. Jinx no flash above here.
Yeah, I still have ulti, by the way.
Yeah, look for Jinx. Jinx no flash. Jinx no flash.
I'm on Lee.
Just killed him in end.
Yo, look at me!
I'm ulting in, I'm ulting in.
Yeah, Jinx no flash. I'm looking for Lee too.
Oh,
yeah, we push, okay? We push?
Yeah, go ends. You can end, no?
So for me, I like that because there's been so many discussions about like, oh, is Golden Guardians not getting coached well enough? Do they not know how to end games? But in that fight alone, like, they actually thought the game was over, right? And if they kill Viktor, or if Lost lands a Kai'Sa W or ults on a different target, he wins. Also, the protopo between High and Lost was over this play as well. And just from listening to him discuss it, it felt like the team spent a long time going over that fight to know what they should have done. But yeah, what did you guys think of that clip?
That was actually what I was going to bring up exactly, was the point with Lost and the fact that in going through that with High, the thing that became really apparent to me is that it's not that they aren't making calls. They even can be like unified on a call and then go back later and be like, maybe this wasn't the right thing to do in the moment. And so when it comes down to like those key situations, you could see Lost thinking through like, what if I had done this differently? You know, like what if I had done this other thing differently? Like when I listened to this the first time, like that was surprisingly clean compared to what I thought it was going to be, which was like really messy because I think they have had some issues making the right decision in key moments in the mid to late game.
Yeah, when you have that much of a lead, you start to brute force stuff and you start to really cut corners. And for them, you can hear it. They were confident this is a win and you just need one team fight to end it. And so they just consistently go through mid in fights that are with you know, little and little gain, where 100 Thieves are able to just simply play them better. So for me, I think a lot of the times people look at this and overreact to saying, okay, they have no macro in the late game, where they actually have been doing much better throughout the weeks. It's just in that moment, when they see that much of a lead that they can easily win fights, screw the top lane, right? Like, let's the whole...
Well,
no, that's what
you can.
Yeah, you can. That's what I'm saying is like, that's the wrong way to go about it. Especially when you're nearing playoffs, you should play the cleaner way and formulaically.
And yesterday, as you can see, this was not a typical Golden Guardians game. But the question I think you can bring up is, or was it? Because the plays they made ended up working, right? Like they're able to chase down those final kills, and they actually came back from like a 1,000 gold deficit to get a win. And I think that makes it so interesting in this particular matchup because we see Golden Guardians 6-8, Dig 7-7. They're fighting for that final playoff spot. And in the same way Golden Guardians has lost close games, I think Dig has won close games. Like we have a clip here of Biofrost landing an incredibly clutch Lux Q on Tactical near the end of the TSM game, and we can kind of make the argument, if this doesn't happen, well, they'd actually be tied in the standings, but they are clutch and we can't take that away from them.
And the pushback I'll make against this a little bit with the way that Dig play is they have won close like late game team fights like this one off of like a single individual play. But when I think of when Dig have been the most successful, it's actually just playing through their pushing bot lane, and then later sometimes it looks really dicey in the mid to late, and that's also where they've lost.
Yeah, and another reason I think this game is so important is look at this Dignitas strength of schedule. They have this game, and then they got the big three, Cloud9, Team Liquid, 100 Thieves. So I think if you're Dignitas, this is the must win. Sure, it would be nice to beat the other teams, but this is the one.
Hold the door!
Let's get predictions, though, with this one. I predicted Golden Guardians.
Oh, I predicted GG, too. I got Golden Guardians.
Wait,
they had an impressive
it's
win.
the three of us.
I think I did, too. I think I also predicted Golden Guardians. No, I predicted Dig. Okay.
There we go.
Okay. That's
Split
how close
desk.
it was. That's
Emily,
how close it was.
I was like, what
wins.
did I predict?
Why did you predict Dig on that one?
Yeah.
I think it was over that, actually, about when it comes to the jungle matchup.
Yeah.
I really like River. I like the way that they can play around bot lane, and Golden Guardians, in my opinion, isn't necessarily going to be the team that attacks the way they play. I could be wrong. I'd also like to see draft because I can see either team winning. And we've already talked a little bit about Dignitas drafting tendencies. So we'll see.
All right, can't wait to see it. Cash is ready for the game. We're ready to get in. Freaking Kobe, take it away.
Thank you very much and welcome. This is going to be, I'm hoping for another banger. I think this is maybe the single most important game today for standings purely. I want to point out, by the way, when there's dig wins behind me casting, 100% win rate for Dignitas. So, sorry, everyone.
Well, he's here every single dig game, so that's just every game that you cast.
That's true. I have cast some, though, where this was never on camera. And when it's on camera dig wins, we have not always gone to the
power is in the camera, man.
Yeah. But the reason I point this out, though, is I think this is the most important game of the day because this is the cusp of playoffs. Dignitas, right now they're in 4th, part of the day. If they lose, they run a gigantic tie with EG and Golden Guardians for 5th through 7th. And by the way, 7th does not make playoffs. Golden Guardians are already 1-0 on Dig. If Golden Guardians win this, they're tied while also owning the head-to-head, meaning they just automatically win a 2-way tie. And we saw Dig's schedule. It's the top 3 teams next. So they really, really need this one if the games go according to, power rankings.
Definitely a very, very critical one for both teams here leading into it. So let's get those champions back up on screen so we can see the pick bands coming through. Unless something going on.
Caitlyn, Jarvan, Volibear banned away by Golden Guardians. Zeri, Rise, and Tom Kench banned away by Dignitas.
So I'm assuming that Golden Guardians are going for a bit of a pinch here because Pridestalkr has had a huge preference for the Xin or the Assassin style, AD Assassin junglers here. So they're really trying to pinch on this jungle champion pool, and they go with the first pick, Hecarim, one of the most sought after right now, farms very quickly, can dive, very, very important kind of maneuver here from blue side from Golden Guardians.
Yep, and he is undefeated 2-0 with a 10.5 KDA on the Hecarim. The only undefeated jungler Pridestalkr has on this team. So, based on results, and a low sample at that, this has been his best performing jungler, both for him and the team overall. So, from pick 1, it's a good looking draft for the squad.
All right, picks here on the side of Dignitas. They respond with Nautilus plus Lee Sin. Really powerful jungle plus support roaming duo. Also, a lot more creative possibilities here from River. The Lee Sin, to me, is his next best champion right behind the Jarvan. Gives him so many options to affect the lanes. If they don't have River creating action for this team early, then they don't create action early at all. They will have to rely on their bottom lane, which has been most successful. Biofrost and Neo really performing.
And of course, we do have a graphics issue. We do want champs like on your screen. We'll get that as soon as possible to round out the picks right now on the first round. There we go. Golden Guardians have moved up priority on Kai'Sa. Keep in mind, Jinx is the most picked AD carry on this patch worldwide. She is so far going through the draft. Golden Guardians could play the dive instead. Obviously, Hecarim could start up. Leona could start up as long as you have someone who can stun the backline. Not a slow, has to be a stun or a fear or a root. Kai'Sa goes and joins up, and you one-shot whoever that is.
Kai'Sa is definitely a scaling pick for the AD carry role as of right now, too. So Golden Guardians do have to scale up a bit. Lost also, he was the Kai'Sa to split builds. He went like half AP and then still went a Kraken Slayer earlier. I don't think he'll do that again. I mean, in the LPL, they're for sure still playing regular AD crit Kai'Sa. Has still been proven very successful. But we have pretty much had every single Kai'Sa in the LCS build the full AP poke build, even when they have extra AP on their team, which I don't think is correct. Because the crit AD build for her still does work fine.
It's good
if you have other AP on your team.
I have seen one build of Nashor's second into Kraken. Where
that was lost. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, okay, great, got it. So yeah, but otherwise you're right, it has been a whole lot of that one. I'm looking up, what are the hyphy Tryndamere matchups we've seen? Because generally speaking, Golden Guardians are happy to have Licorice take the skill matchups. Like even against Cloud9 where he's battling Summit, and yeah, it goes kind of tragic in a lot of those cases, they have had him go for the battle. So I'm just trying to see like, hey, what might they be willing to pick into this fight?
Yeah, and they ban away the Gnar. Gnar has been by far Licorice's favorite top lane champion, blind or no. Overwhelming priority. 7 plays on that, 2 on the next most frequent. So nice target ban there. They also ban away the Malphite. I think is a really good counter pick. So nice attention here from Dignitas, protecting that top lane, protecting their team comp as well with the amount of AD that they're going to have.
All right, they won't pick it, but I want to see Teemo, maybe a Vayne, you know, like the marksman who just actually just bully out of lane. You'll get to CS. Then when you go for the all-in, they have some tool that breaks the all-in as well, whether it's Condemn or a blind. Like, that's the hyphy pick, because Trynd is clearly meta, right? We're seeing a lot of blind pick Tryndameres, and they're clearly going top lane. You can dig out, you know, you can kind of dig in there and find some really, really dark tech picks. And so, Fiora! Yeah! I said he's going to go for something spicy, and I didn't expect Fiora, but that's the pick here.
Licorice Unleashed. Let's see it. And this is with having a Hecarim, which you're assuming is going to do a full clear, and having a scaling mid laner as well. So I want to see Dignitas right now. You could slam a roaming mid laner for blue. He hasn't played a ton of roaming mid lane champions, but if you can do that, your side lanes have such great potential for pop-off here. All right, the Sylas answer into the Viktor definitely does have some options here. Sylas plus Lee Sin as well can combine for some of those early plays.
Alrighty, well, we're ready to go on to this one. Sylas in the mid lane for blue up against Viktor should be a very fun lane. Can be incredibly, incredibly active. Obviously, Lee Sin could be very flashy as well for River here. The Golden Guardians have done so well with Hecarim in the jungle. He's brought them 2 wins, and this is, I think, it's an incredibly important battle for a playoff position. Golden Guardians would tie for 5th through 7th if they win. They would own the tiebreaker against Dignitas if they win, and Dig would have really tough opponents left. We'll see if Golden Guardians can keep the push up forward, or if Dignitas can hold on to a playoff spot.
What's going on?
Jake from State Farm, the perp just confessed. I think. I don't know.
What?
Oh, can't afford streaming anymore, so here we are.
Oh, don't give up what you love. State Farm has options to personalize your policy so you get a rate that fits your budget.
Oh, that's great. The subtitles would be nice.
For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
Fiora has only been picked in the LPL and LCK this year. 0 picks LCS, 0 picks in LEC. I love it. I want to see more confident top laners picking some skill matchups, picking some of these very, very fragile melee carries, and Licorice goes Ignite.
Yeah, you love to see it. I'm happy. We finally get the solo queue experience. There's no teleports, and it's Fiora versus Trynd. I've been waiting years for this metagame in pro play. I cannot wait.
Top lane has arrived.
Yes!
Top lane has surely arrived. All right, let's look at the level 1s here, though. Dignitas trying to get some early vision on jungle tracking. Trying, definitely important tracking jungle when you have a volatile topside matchup like that.
Yeah. Kobe, I want to just pull back to, because I'm just I'm loving this moment right now. Like, I remember casting Riven at the World Championship, right? I want those days back, Kobe. You know, I don't want the Orin versus Malphite. I don't want a bunch of Scions. I'm okay with a couple of Scions, like, it's cool champ. But I want this metagame just forever, right? Kai'Sa dives the back line, Hecarim's running around chopping things over, Fiora, Trynd top lane, no TPs. This is the league I want.
Well, journey before destination, Phreak. Enjoy the current moment, all right?
I will. I enjoyed 2015, too.
Because we've got it here. FakeGod versus Licorice with the counter pick here. Fiora Ignite on top side. I want to see how early can he pressure. Also, the spawns of these sweet spots definitely matter. They're always going to be alternating, either left bottom and top right. So we just had the early first spawn, lucky for Licorice, on left bottom.
Sure.
So then you see it opposites the spawn for second one up on the top side, which is what kind of keeps the passive in line.
Yeah, it's funny. There's 2 cooldowns that matter on Fiora. One is that passive trigger. The other is Grasp coming up because Q applies Grasp and also does your auto attack. And so you're like, oh, is Grasp up? Q walk away. Oh, is the Vital Knife spot? Q walk away. Yeah, give me those. Couldn't quite get the side hit there, but obviously an early good health trade for the Fiora. Level 2 coming soon.
Yeah, and the idea, of course, is to try and keep the passive balance, is that the left and bottom ones are the easy ones to hit when you're trading here from blue side, and the other ones are going to be the more difficult ones. So you can see FakeGod trying to keep his back away when Licorice has the unlucky backside spawns. and giving some credence to the possible trade power here when he has a front one.
Part of what makes Fiora good in the matchup as well is even if you don't block a stun, which doesn't exist on the kit, with Fiora's W, it is still an attack speed slow, and a pretty significant one at that. It is not going to be uncommon to see even a pro player just like not used to the muscle memory of a slowed auto attack and like, you know, stutter on attack, or even just, you know, not win the trade in the first place, because obviously slows are really good.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. People always think of riposte as, oh, it's my big CC counter, but if you use it on the W spin and consequence auto attack coming afterwards, it's a huge trade win as well. And being able to chase down the Tryndamere afterwards is a big deal. You know, he's got the ignite in his kit, so being able to chase him down as he tries to exit, especially if you've got some jungle priority. So checking back in on those junglers, did have the full clear from Pridestalkr, gets back to top side to be able to get that top scuttle, while River and Biofrost link up here through the river to be able to get a much deeper ward. I like this one, which will see second Raptor spawn and allow them to further track Pridestalkr through his second clear.
So what's up next? As recalls have come through, first items come around. Look at the AD carries kind of chilling, and pretty standard stuff to see the level 3 boots recall on a crowd control support, and you either roam straight down mid or you go kind of between the two, like right there. That's kind of the path you take eventually. And this says, okay, I can react to mid. I'm only like 3 seconds slow if it happens. If I go bot, I'm not that slow either. And you can kind of cover both plays. Pretty smart stuff right here. In this case, Olleh stayed on the map, which is just fine, but ultimately a slow push in towards Neo's turret.
They're going to try and attack Pridestalkr as he transitions over to Raptors. River is a level down because he's skipping farming at the moment. Didn't do Krugs on the first clear, but also not even you know, going back for Gromp. And so much time used here by Dig and River. He's going to be significantly behind in farm, but it might pay off with a surprise play. Man, there's going to be a very unwelcome surprise waiting for him in this Raptor brush.
He took the safe. He's waiting. Like, he is aware, like, they got to control what in my jungle? Someone's too aggressive. Mid lane just pushed and left?
So
no
smart.
way. I love that.
So
As I don't think he ever saw them go in, but he's like, yo, Nautilus got here. Someone got here. This isn't safe.
Cool.
That is very smart.
And then also, when mid lane moves like that, when Sylas moves over, you know, give that camp up. Really intelligent read there from Pridestalkr, and especially, yeah, when mid lane moves also, you're like, all right, we are definitely out of here. So River just going to be a little bit behind off of delaying clearing camps. So much time invested in the deep attempt at the surprise play.
Yeah, I mean, right now Hecarim is up 2 Krug camps, with the cost being 2 Raptor camps. Like, that is golden XP positive by a lot. So early gold lead to Golden Guardians. I see them live up to their name right now. Is Lost also holding on in lane. Aphelios definitely a pretty strong early laner. Obviously, you start green-red, you get the early priority. But Aphelios kind of holds on pretty well. Kai'Sa definitely quite a scaling pick. And the fact that she's basically equal on farm is a good start.
The River fight over Vision. Now going to turn back towards Biofrost. No problem here. Pridestalkr called back down to the bottom side. Finishes out the straggling Raptor here so that he can get his next respawn of the camp. But Biofrost just taking off the shield for Lee Sin. Thank you very much for the Scuttle Crab prep.
Control ward that can be killed, but in the meantime, it'll spot the dragon is not being rushed down just yet. And we kind of expect Dignitas to play the 2-on-2 to have priority over the lane. And so it is going to be the bottom river owned by the man himself as he keeps going through his camps and, you know, keeps up relatively with Hecarim. Getting that second scuttle actually does a lot to keep up. It's very fast, but it's worth as much as any of the big camps. So pretty beneficial there. Licorice definitely getting some poke done, and he's up quite a bit of farm. Even though FakeGod will clean up most of this wave, he will still end this rotation down in farm.
And you can see, you know, Licorice is slowly getting these small advantages by holding that riposte we were talking about, and that kind of denies the play from FakeGod, even just by holding it.
Well, comes down early, flash Q goes wide. River did not put it through the side. Maybe couldn't have gone for the play anyway. I don't think QQ kick flash would have killed. Maybe would have been close. Ultimately, it is a flash out from Ablazeolive, a trade of ults for the mid laners.
And you expect a revisit to punish this Viktor. No flash for Ablaze. Definitely a very vulnerable target. Blue just using the ultimate. Can he stop the back here? Gets there in time. Nice little delay. As far as the minion wave, is going to push back out anyway. Whenever you have even minions that close to the tower, reinforcements means it's going to push back out the other way. General rule of thumb, you need 4 ranged minions worth of DPS to be able to push anywhere in your lane, or be able to hold the freeze anywhere in your lane. There'll be enough DPS to kill off the returning melees quick enough.
super, super minor optimization. If you're going to pull the Dragon out anyway, Q it, let it come to you, then Q to follow. I think given the time to get it out of the pit. Either way, does get it away from the control ward. So good job to River. Yes, you know what's happening. You saw him do it, but you don't know the exact health bar, and it's not going to be in range for any of the smites. Whatever, Pridestalkr would have the blast plant in, and then ult back out. Not going to be the play. So good job, Dignitas. Get their first Dragon.
They do know that, of course, with the global call, the Dragon means River is down there, so Hecarim actually rotates over to the Herald. This is something that takes so long, though, because Riftio, because a lot of taking this objective is timing based on the eyeball opening here for that % health damage. It takes it quite a while to take this objective in response, so oftentimes, if the team that took Dragon wants to, they can rush here to try and counter that response. It should be quick enough, though, for Pridestalkr. This is still 450.
Ooh, 77. Yeah, I was nearly up to one-shot it. Thankfully, wasn't low enough. FakeGod only got it down low.
Yeah, really like the attempt, though, from FakeGod. Trying to get in there for the auto. You can try and burst it down. Unless they've gotten the Herald, a lot of wasted damage into it before popping the eyeball, though. It usually will not one-shot it because of the health thresholds and the timing thresholds where the eyeball opens. It always opens for the last one with a substantial amount of health left. So unless it's been open for a while and you've been hitting it and not popping it, it's very, very rare that you can ever go for an eyeball auto attack steal like that. But that one actually was kind of close because it had been open for quite a while. And on first Herald, especially if you rush it, a lot of junglers will still be on 450 smite.
Yeah, which he was in this case, right? So yeah, it could have been really meaningful. Either way, no pickup. A nice try, but no results here. River gonna find himself a battle with Pridestalkr. They both with a little bit of health, and ultimately just Licorice holding on to his farm underneath the turret. Has the Sheen. We tend to see Divine Sunder more than anything else in this champion. Nice bit of CC, and Leona just not going to live for very long. Finally flashed away, but Ignite could be enough. River there just to make sure the E-Flash kills it. No trade kill in. First blood, Dignitas.
Yes, really nicely comboed there, and they don't give up any sort of counter. Definitely flash invested here from River, so he doesn't have the kick flash available for a play anytime soon, but definitely worth it. They push in on bottom side. They are able to get the kill here on Olleh towards mid lane and getting his flash out as well. Meanwhile, top side has reversed with Tryndamere here on second back, being able to push back in the face of Licorice. Here's another look at it. Steals away Olleh's ultimate, jumps in, and then chains land. So even though he stays in gravity field, and Biofrost as well hooks into the gravity field with Ignite on, River's able to come finish the kill in the back here. Just need a tiny bit of damage. Finish this one off, and they take down the support.
So from Solitude Data, want to check back in on the top lane because I'm curious about it. Relatively flat matchup overall, actually. They're both of kind of similar power levels. But Fiora is the scaling pick in the matchup, which just tends to be how these Trynd picks all work. They all kind of lose lane or are expected not to win it, and then come out with a better look at the very end. So the fact that Licorice, quote-unquote counter picks here and is equal in farm, according to Solitude Data, all according to plan.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows Fiora scares like a tremendous monster.
Yeah.
And that's why it is pretty rare to see, because a lot of the matchups, even that you're willing to pick it into, are skill-based because of the timing nature of the champion. So that's the reason why we get so hyped when we do get to see it. And so many of the picks, all of the picks so far this year have all been in LPL or LCK. But let's see Licorice here.
Yeah, it is interesting. Of course, anytime Fiora wants to go for the ulti play, you just like let the fourth hit go through, you trade your ult back, and okay, Fiora heals back to full, but Trynd probably won't die. And you're like, well, ult for ult, but Trynd builds a bit more haste in most cases, so usually comes out of the head with like, well, now it's ult for nothing, and it's gonna look good next time around.
Yeah, and let's see about River moving in again towards mid lane. Now, they didn't get to punish Ablazeolive after burning his flash early on, but were able to still get the kill out of Olleh on the rotation over. I think so far, Blue has played the Sylas part of this really well, trading his health for minion damage, shoving up the waves. His CS is quite nice for Sylas, and being able to move to a lot of these plays with River. This sort of thing right here where you get mid lane priority first, moving with your jungle or your support for extra vision deep in opponent jungle, or trying to create a steal like this, are the kind of unseen things from mid lane. So really nicely done from him so far with the Sylas pick. River going to take away this red buff and going to continue the roam there as Neo Biofrost take the route all the way up towards mid to answer, and it's just going to be the 2-plate knockoff here for the Rift Herald. So the basic minimum value of the objective achieved.
Basic minimum. All the money also, by the way, goes directly to Pridestalkr. He's on what I believe to be Sunderer based on his build path. Ult's going to come down. There's the ult trade. Gets the heal. Needs to stay alive. Needs to kite it out. Repose for a bit of time. Will Ignite do the rest of it? Oh, the last tick of Ignite kills him. FakeGod burns every cooldown and burns down.
Oh, I love it. That's why we love watching the skill matchups. Coming down to the last autos here. The flash into the brush, but Ignite taken by Licorice finally pays off. We can slow it down to look at the actual every single trade, but bottom side first.
This is dangerous. That's a ward hop into a kick, into a kill for Neo, and now it's Olleh's turn to die as well. Biofrost stopwatch to drop the aggro. River grabs his second, an immaculate dive. Dignitas 2-0.
So as FakeGod dies on top side with the flash into the brush, their bottom side play more than makes up for it. Huge dive, minions denied there, multiple minion waves just dying to the tower, and they can get Dragon off of it. All right, here's another look at it. Licorice does have the,
Hecarim killed Nautilus, and he wants Neo as well, but the purple gun is there for the root. Gets him out. Still, one traded back, good job.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll take a look at it for round number 2, but those little things are really big about matchups like this too. When you have the AD reduction of the Mocking Shout on you, Licorice kind of waits it out for the all-in before going back in for it. Oh, nice. We do get to have the look. So the AD reduction is on him, kind of waits it out here, goes back in for another Q for the reduced cooldown. Can't get the right side one. I appreciate the observers trying to give us, you know, what we want. Their hearts are in the right place, and yet round 2, another stomp there, and that's because you have completed Trinity Force on one side and garbage on the other side. These are little scraps. The garage sale inventory versus full Trinity Force. Licorice just rams it right down, and that was before ultimates came back up. So there's no guesswork about the ult trade in this time, and Licorice just chases him down.
I need to give Licorice credit as well for going Trinity Force on Fiora. That item has a 2% pick rate first in this champion and is by far her best option. You gotta land multiple auto attacks play as champion. It's the right pick. Everyone else gotta take notes.
Yeah, I for sure agree. In looking up all the LPL LCK ones, there were so many Divine Sunderers, and that would be turbo trash this game especially. You know, especially after the changes to Divine Sunderer too. So definitely a Trinity Force game for him. And he got so much money early off of the first kill. That's oftentimes how a lot of these isolated 1v1s go. Guess what? Licorice got the first kill. That one was really close. Came down to one Ignite tick. And yet you get so much money off that. You now have a completed Trinity Force. So you have to give respect. Once you lost the first duel, you got to put some respect on their name, okay?
Yeah, the question is how good do the trades look afterwards, because we got to look at the bottom lane again. They're Lee Sin coming in, but a great stun out from Leona. Kick back on the team. They stun up, though, and that could be kills on a Neo. Reinforcements have arrived as well, and a deletion comes through. Sonic a bit early, but the reinforcements make it a 1-for-1. Both mid laners showing up, and now Biofrost, could he get lost? Think going to be good enough, not quite in range. Poked out well by the Viktor. Golden Guardians 1-for-1.
Yeah, they both have flashes on bottom side, so it looks like they're going to try and defend a little bit here. They give up bottom turret while Hecarim is taking mid. Rift Herald number 2 is going to finish off what Rift Herald number 1 started, and Pridestalkr will run that one all the way through to second.
Ults are up. Licorice gonna, nice, yeah. Gets the Vital plus a Grass proc. That's like a 600 health difference. Does he get the Triforce proc as well? Does he get like the big sheen? That is, by the way, very satisfying. Vital plus Grass plus sheen hit. It is about as good as getting a 4-trigger ultimate on Fiora.
And that means Licorice now full control up here. After winning 2 back-to-back 1v1s, will be rewarded with tower gold.
Nice. So 2 turrets to 1. Of course, Dignitas still up in the scoreboard. We have been singing the praises of the 1v1 up there, but the bot lane has looked really good. River has looked awesome. It's a 500 gold lead and 2 dragons. Number 3 coming up in 145 as Neo just shoves in the top wave, looks for another turret to kill.
Licorice is living the top laner life up there from solo queue. You know, I'm crushing my 1v1, win my lane, get my top turret, but the rest of the map has been going the way of Dignitas. And here's another look in our replay at it. Neo here would have been able to finish off Olleh, but a stopwatch delays his inevitable death until the mid laner teleports come in, and both mid laners picking up the kills on arrival there. Then here's another look.
It's probably the second solo kill.
Yeah, this has got to be. And this is before the ultimates came off of cooldown. Lol, part 3.
Speaking of ults, ooh, it's not quite going to force it. FakeGod can see the ticks.
Yeah. One more tick.
Yeah.
Man.
But you can check it, right? You're like, okay, I see it. 40, 40. I've got 65. It's fine. Okay.
Yep. Quick math right there. FakeGod doesn't blow the ultimate, but it doesn't matter. I mean, Licorice constantly will continue to push him out of lane. Once you get dominance like that in one of these 1v1s, and there's no twist of fate this time around to come save your side lane pressure. It's going to have to be, you know, trailing split pushers or support roams coming through to retake control of those side waves. Now is where Fiora really starts to take over. When you have Mythic Plus, you have the AoE damage coming from your Tiamat. You get to instantly push these waves, and then we'll see off these openings, Licorice trying to take his presence from the 1v1 win to help out with the rest of the map, to help out with the rest of the team that has been, you know, slowly giving up more and more room.
We got 8 seconds now till the dragon spawns, and Golden Guardians really hope they can stop the stacking. Hook comes in already. Looks pretty good, but it's going to be Biofrost drop low as well. Hecarim in the back line finds one. Lost is alive. Azonia's used for a moment there as Blue wants to buy some time, but no good way out. Isolated for the Qs. Pridestalkr heals as much as he can, but River will trade it back. Looks like a 3-to-1 team fight, though. Golden Guardians got what they wanted.
Yep, still Plasma on Neo, so even though he gets away from Pridestalkr, Kai'Sa can just go in there. Lost with the Killer Instinct. Now Licorice wants another one for FakeGod. It's actually not traded on the ultis, though, so FakeGod no health, but still has his ultimate. Golden Guardians, though, they win the team fight, they get the rewards, they stop the Dignitas dragon stacking. There will be no early soul point for Dig. Golden Guardians will claim this one.
Wow, that is huge to win the fight that well. Good job to find that first bit of damage, because Biofrost just kind of got deleted, right? He found the engage, he got Aftershock, but they threw numbers at him. And it worked out well as we got the Nashor's now in for the Kai'Sa.
And this was really well done by the 4-pack of Golden Guardians. Previously, so many of the advantages had come from Licorice, but Biofrost goes right in and gets focused so quickly that he's a very early death for this team, meaning that Blue is left all alone with the rest of the members of Golden Guardians. So Blue goes down. Wow, Pridestalkr almost kills off Neo. As long as he leaves the Plasma on him, though, with the E charge giving the last stack of Plasma, or the ultimate towards the end as well, the Fear, leaving enough for Lost to go finish off that kill, it's an overwhelming victory for the Golden Guardians. And Licorice continues to cruise ahead on this Fiora. Ravenous will come soon, Phreak. And these are the dream scenarios when you get to live the late game fantasies of the Fiora players, where you're a sustained monster, you're a DPS self-healing side lane threat that can also devastate any other member on the Dignitas squad.
Yeah, the only constraint you kind of have in this champion is you can run out of mana, because you're so tempted to like spam your E for an attack reset, spam your Q, because it applies like all this stuff, like just applies your Tiamat AoE, so you like really want to burn spells, and it can constrain you. Obviously, pros are good at conserving mana in the appropriate ways, but like that's the only thing you actually run out of. That there's no good mana items. You're not going to go Mana Moon in this champion. So once in a while, you can see that happen. Just, probably going to be okay here. Just, 1 out of 100 games, you're like, ooh, wow, I oomed, and that was going to be a really important fight. But we got Hecarim diving in, looking for the fight right now. River wants to get back into this game, fighting away from the Fiora. Good CC, and Pridestalkr kicked around, ults back in, and has reinforcements. Blue jumps in, gets 2, just deletes him. But River's not going to find his way out, so kills come back in. Lost. So ready to go, but has to respect Neo. Red, white, take the fight. Oh, the flash! That was damn impressive, but Neo cannot outrun a laser. He can outrun a Ablazeolive, though.
Nice one from Neo there. Flashes that W. Not going to be able to find the kill there for Lost. He was trying to chase him down. That Plasma would have killed him, but Neo flashes it, hits him with the red gun ultimate as well, heals right back up. Honestly, Blue and Neo with back-to-back big hero plays from the carries on Dignitas to get them back this advantage. All right, let's take a look for it. Blue likes these odds, okay? He goes straight in, he sees every member, steals the Hecarim ultimate, fears them apart for Biofrost to be able to hook in the Hecarim here, and then the follow-up just chains so nicely from Dignitas. Good ultimate there from Pridestalkr to try and dodge away from Lee Sin and get back out, but Blue finds him for the early double kill. And then just the edge of that gravity field does lock him in place enough for Lost to finish off with the auto. But here's the real fun part. Neo, he Gale Forces in to get close range for his white gun, and then ultimate from red gun and flashes to the side to dodge away from the W from Kai'Sa. Avoids his own death, secures the kill as well, and then even could walk away as Ablaze tried to chase him down.
I want to point out some build tech on Lost, by the way. This is one thing that I think people should do more on a more AP-focused Kai'Sa variant, is don't go all the way to a serrated dirt. It's 1,100 gold. You delay your Nashor's and Luden's power spikes a lot. By getting just a longsword, you'll evolve Q at like level 9 off Manamune, and then you can get the rest of your items online a little bit sooner. You can even skip it if you want to wait till 12 to evolve Q, but that's kind of the breakpoints there. So build tech, that longsword is just for Q evolve. He could sell it by this point. You don't have to, but like he can.
Yeah, he can sell it at any point in this game. Later, here we go though.
Engage comes across, deletion. Neo can't get away. His flash was down. This one's gonna matter. So already Pridestalkr's on the board. Thank you very much for that one. Lost. Claims a second. Trades back now into Olleh. But what else can Blue get done? Gonna get CC'd up. And this time around, the zone is not turned into a double kill. Now River is alive, as is FakeGod. Is there a Smite Steal on the docket?
There's definitely a Baron turn here. Licorice looking for River. He's trying to find the enemy jungler. Keep River away from any possibility of coming to steal it. It's a very slow Baron, though, here, with just Lost and Pridestalkr on it. You see Viktor trying to clear the mid wave because FakeGod was trying to push to counter it. River has snuck back over.
And now
lands the Q.
They know he's here. So
stop DPS. Stop.
You've got a job, bud. You've got a job. You got to find him. If you can't get over the wall, there's not going to get much you can do. And knows, all right, we see him. Guarantees no steal. Good plays. Baron on the board for Golden Guardian.
All you have to do is stop DPS while the Q is still on it. As long as that thing times out and Licorice goes to zone him off, they will be able to secure it. Golden Guardians, calm and collected, pick up the Baron. They reset. Teleports here from Dig will get them back out to the Dragon, though. And in payment for that Baron off of reset, they will be able to get themselves 2 soul points.
Really well done. Even a good trinket to make sure it's going to be all right. They can even see the Blast Plant thanks to Scryer's Bloom, and that is the third Dragon of the game. 5 minutes away from a chance at an Ocean Soul. Now, Golden Guardians do have a 4,000 gold lead, but I'm curious how many of those thousands are just on Licorice, making that 4-on-4 a bit closer than it looks.
All right, well, let's put it to the test. With this Baron buff, 4-1 split push for Golden Guardians. Teleport to the top side for Ablazeolive. He gets up to that minion wave to try and push into secondary tower, but the rest of the team are not stopping. They see Sylas on the minions bottom side, and there's no teleport. They know Blue has no teleport. He has to wait for a full channeled recall. So Dignitas are just giving up their inhibitor because Blue pushed out another minion wave on bottom side. They don't want to fight it, Phreak. They don't think they can win it. So they open up, they give that mid inhibitor and the secondary turret. So much gold, so many advantages here for Golden Guardians off of this Baron.
And if they weren't willing to fight for inhib turrets, I understand killing bot lane. Actually, bot lane was already dead, right? That got killed a while back, but wanting the wave push at the very least. This time around, they're going to stick around and try a little bit of something. Licorice playing on the wings a bit here. Ravenous is done. Stopwatch inventory as well, but nowhere near his third item. FakeGod will hold that as long as he can. It's not going to mean a whole bunch. Obviously, a 3-level lead is going to mean a whole lot in top lane. Could be thumbs up. He's like, I was bringing that one up. I saw it in time. Now the engage for Biofrost. Oh, wow. Oh. Lost is gone. This could be the fight that Dignitas need. A stopwatch buys some time. FakeGod gets away. Ignite is on. He will have to ult it. Hecarim hits the backline. Fiora goes in for a bit more, and I've seen this one play out as well. It's a horror movie, and the entire team just dies. FakeGod hides in the closet, looking through the slits. It's blood everywhere. It's Golden Guardian just hacking through every single Dignitas member with a machete, with a rapier, with anything in the kitchen, and it's slims split around. I don't know what we're doing, but Golden Guardians do. It's 26.5 in. We got a top lane Fiora. We got no teleports in the top lane, and we have a dead Nexus. Golden Guardians take down Dignitas.
Fiora undefeated in the LCS, Phreak. Licorice, 100% win rate. Fiora absolutely demolished FakeGod on the Tryndamere, and in the most honorable fashion. I mean, yes, he took Ignite, but you can see the summoner spells. He wins the 1v1 initially. Oh man, that look says it all from the side of Dignitas, but celebrating Licorice here with that Ignite, with the Fiora on top side. He wins. The first fight is the most critical. The first duel gets him the money for Trinity Force advantage, and then with that advantage, he presses it. From that point, he just rammed it down FakeGod's throat, attacking him over and over in the 1v1, taking down the turrets, accruing a 3-level lead by the end of the game. Massive split push threat. Well done here for the Golden Guardians. Critical win for them, moving up the standings.
Yeah, it is critical. It means they are tied in playoff spot. They own the tiebreaker over Dignitas. They are 0-1 against EG, the other team they're tied with right now. Obviously, FlyQuest still to play. It might be a gigantic tie over there with all that. So the race has heated up. Golden Guardians have certainly dropped off that giant loss streak, and now we get a highlight reel. Finally, we get to watch Licorice dominate FakeGod in full HD.
All right, we were tracking it all game long, and the next installation of every duel came out as we were asking for the replay of the previous one. This one was the first, though. This is the one that made it all happen. Ult for ult, Licorice running through, getting the heals, that crit. So what's really important is the timing of that ignite. Licorice, he saved it for so long, so that even with the flash away, FakeGod trying to flash into the brush, so he would like try and win the auto duel afterwards. But the late ignite from Licorice, he knows, I've got you. That's the 5-point strike right there. He walks away, you take 10 steps, you're dead.
Yep.
Really nicely done by Licorice, honestly. And from that point on, that funded the Trinity Force.
Unplayable.
Chases him down.
Like, every time we look over, it's like, and there's FakeGod, a 5% run for his tower. It's like, he didn't know he didn't ignite. He just like, wow, that matchup's done. That matchup's done. So good job to get that edge. Obviously, that's really skillful.
I was trying to remember the Kill Bill reference, what the palm technique is.
Gosh. Yeah, I don't remember.
That he uses.
But
it's not 5-point strike, though.
No.
Because that's a Akali's.
Fair enough. It's all right. Well, we're going to take a short break, but on the other side, Ablazeolive will be joining the State Farm analyst desk, so don't go anywhere.
I call it the wheel.
I don't think so. This is a miss.
Brother David, behold! It's a fork!
I got 10 forks right here, baby! A toilet? We're not animals. We go outside like humans.
Hancock!
No king! The people shall have the right to vote. Even the stupid ones?
Yes!
Edison, can I be honest with you? It stinks. Nobody's gone to the moon, ever! Why not? It's far, it's too far, it's far!
の未来はポータブルミュージックです。
バカか！出て行け！バタリがいてもやるぞ！バタリ！
Like I was saying, it's FTX. It's a safe and easy way to get into crypto.
I don't think so. And I'm never wrong about this stuff. Never.